Welcome back to another Pristine Productions. I'm your host, Andrew Rayburn here. I want to thank you guys. Thanks for our love and support. Help that subscribers so we can hit that 1K mark. Be sure to check out my website. Be sure to check out my new mixing soca course, which you can buy on my website here. You won't find it on Coursecraft. You will find 3 others, dancehall, reggae, and Afrobeat on Coursecraft. But you can buy the soca 3-part series directly from my website. You just click on that video and it'll take you to my website here. And I'm going to do a very special tutorial here. I'm not going to be talking about music today. I'm going to be talking about, this is for all you Twitch fans and all you game designers and gamers, how to do a game cover in Photoshop here. And I'm going to be using Photoshop 2017. You can use whatever. So I took some simple photos here. I'm going to go here on, we're going to take this image here and we're going to create our own game design here. Here I have like a skeleton here, a skeleton of the PS5 game. I'm using a black background here just so we can see what's going on here. So the first thing I did is I have a picture here. You can use any picture that you want. And I'm going to show a little bit of basic tools while we do this. So on the left hand side here, you'll see the selection tool, which you can click on the rectangle here. I can go ahead and just draw the selection. I can push the button delete. I'm sorry, let me click on the layer. There's a layer right down. If you double click here, you can name it. I can call this cover. If I click on the delete button there, it's gonna cut that part out. But we're doing strictly a game design here. If you want to know more about the tools, be sure to comment. You know, normally on my channel, you know, I'm talking about music scores and the scoring for game, but we talk about game designing cover because I'm a graphic designer as well. So let's see if we can put some fun in it. So here's a picture here that I have. So I've already cut out the skeleton here. So if I click on the cover here, I can hold the control button and left click, and it's gonna bring up the selection here. So whatever I put in here is gonna be confined to that space. But I already have that saved, so I'm gonna click this area right here is what I'm gonna put the background in. So I'm gonna click on my image here. I'm gonna hold Control and press the letter T, which is gonna bring up the transform tools. But first, I'm gonna click on this layer, which is the background here, and I'm gonna go down to this little icon. Looks like a camera, a little circle in it. It says add layer mask. So I'm gonna click that, and Photoshop cuts the image and confines it to this area here. So I'm gonna left click and click on this little mask area here. Then I'm gonna click on the actual layer. I'm gonna hold Control and T, and let's see if I can we're gonna transform this. So as you look in the middle here, there's a little chain link here. So this mask is linked to this layer. So if I double click on the middle here, I can now move around. Let me deselect the selection tool. I can hold Control and press T, and I can move around in the confines of the selection just by double clicking on linking that. So what I want to do, I'm gonna hold Shift and Alt, an Alt button, and I'm gonna enlarge in the image here. So I'm gonna go a little bit big here. I'm gonna go down and pull it down a little bit here. I'm gonna drag it to the sides. Let's go to the bottom right now. Let me take it up. Let's extend the size a little bit more. So I'm gonna go to maybe right about here. This looks pretty interesting. I'm gonna click on this little tick here. And there we have the image right there in the center. Now, we're still not done yet. So I'm going to go to the second window here where I have this guy here. And normally it takes a while to be cutting out. So for the sake of the tutorial, I already cut him out already. So I'm gonna remove the background. There he is. So I'm gonna go to this little cross sign here on the left tool palette here. I'm gonna click on him. I'm gonna drag him over to the window here, which we want to do the game design. So I'm gonna hold Control and T so we can control. I know we're seeing a little bit of grass here, but we're gonna fix that. Don't worry about that. So I'm gonna hold Shift and Alt so it I can resize and without losing the form of the image here. So I hope that makes sense here. So I'm gonna move around here, and let's go ahead and okay, maybe put it about there, and maybe about here. Now what you want to do is you want to move the image so it lines up with the background. It's what you call perspective here. So what I'm seeing here is maybe I need to shrink it a little bit more, and perhaps maybe bring it down, or let me take it up here. Now we're gonna fix the problem with the feet here. That's why we're graphic designers, right? So let's see. I'm gonna enlarge in the background a little bit more, and maybe right about there would be good. So we want to get off a nice perspective here. So first things first. Here we have this guy here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and I want to make sure he is in the confines of the borderline here around the game cover. I don't want this little thing to be leaking out here. So what I'm gonna do, let's see if I can bring him a little bit higher here, a little bit above there. I'm gonna click on the same selection, and I'm gonna put in the mask that we use to do the game cover there. So you can see now the gun is behind the game cover there. So what I'm gonna do with this area here, we can easily fill that in. So I'm gonna hold Control, I'm gonna click, and I'm gonna create a new layer. Let's call this black, and I'm gonna fill this here with black. And I'm gonna put a mask on it, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my brush tool here, and I'm gonna paint away. I'm gonna slowly paint back in the image here so we can create like a vignette kind of feel. So I'm gonna go down, here we go about there. Let's bring in a little bit more of the city here, and bring in parts of him. And we're gonna leave the shadow here, maybe a little bit part of him. I'm gonna small in the brush a little bit. I'm gonna paint here, maybe here, maybe about there, maybe about there. As you can see, maybe a little bit of light right there. So it's very since the light is coming this way, we want the light to be hitting him about there. As you can see, it look natural here. So without that, then it's gonna be like a one-legged man here. So maybe I can introduce a little bit more light around here. I'm gonna click on the background image real quick and go to filter, noise, and I'm gonna reduce the noise so we can sharpen it up a little bit. That's looking pretty cool, and that's good. Now I'm gonna, maybe reveal a little bit more light here. Now I'm gonna click on him, and also I'm gonna go to filter. I'm gonna go to unsharp mask. I'm gonna give him a little bit more contrast. And then I'm gonna go on to noise. I'm gonna reduce the noise here. I'm gonna kind of give him a nice cartoon look. by taking down the reduce color noise here, it's making him a little bit more smoother. If I take off the preview, you can see a little bit how it looks. Now also what I want to happen is I want him to be blending with the background. As you can see, he has a different coloration from the background here. So the quickest fix to that is I can click on the background here. I'm going to press Control J. I'm going to drag that on top of him. And I'm going to go to filter. I'm going to go to blur. I'm going to blur this image to look something like that. And I'm going to change the screen, the mode to, let's go to color. And then I'm going to bring down the fill here. So we're getting a little bit of the coloration from the background on him. Maybe a little bit more. About there will do. Before, after. Let's bring it down just a little bit here. That's looking pretty good. And also here we want to work in some details here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on the effects button here. I'm going to go to blend. I'm going to hit bevel. And I'm going to move this little wheel here on the right. And I'm going to affect the bevel light that is hitting him here. So we can create a little bit more realism here. We can control the depth. Maybe the size here. Let's maybe go a little bit down. Maybe a little bit by there. I'm gonna move around the wheel here to see how it best looks. Maybe let's go over here. Maybe right there will be good. I'm gonna increase, and we can change the color of the bevel as well. So you know we can go to like a bright blue here. Let's go a little bit more paler blue, and maybe a little bit more green. Or we can go to white. A little bit of white and green. Inner shadow, which controls the inner shadow as well. So I'm gonna raise the opacity set to soft light. And let's pick the color from the background here. I'm not going pretty fast, but I'm just showing you. You game designers here, if you want to give me the job to do this for you, I can do it for you. I can really hook you up. Come on, guys. So let's see here. I'm going to put a little bit of, let's see if I can move the shadow here around. The inner shadow a little bit more green here. That's looking good. And gradient overlay. No, we don't want that. So we're looking good here. So I'm gonna add a layer now. I'm just gonna click on this little icon here. I'm gonna call this light. And I'm gonna hold Alt button here, and I'm gonna sample a piece from the background. And I'm gonna switch it to, let's switch it to screen. And maybe I'm gonna click maybe right about there, maybe right about here. Right about there, we'll create a little bit of a glow here. Maybe on the hat there, maybe right by the gun. Give it a very cinematic feel. Let's add another layer here. I'm gonna call this fog. Our flow is set down to about 120. So I'm gonna enlarge my brush, and I'm gonna create a little bit of fog down here. It's looking pretty cool. Nice, nice. And I'm going to bring in another element here. Let's bring in the, this is a picture of a zombie hand here. I'm going to move it up. I already cut this out, so let's bring in the hand. That's looking pretty cool right there when you look at it, you know, but we don't want that size there. So let's Control T that, and I'm gonna resize this hand here, and I'm gonna bring the hand down. Let's resize it a little bit more. It's a little bit more. Remember, you want to be thinking in perspective. So if we know if he was standing on top of a burial ground, which we're creating right here, more likely that would be where the hand is going to be. And we can duplicate that. I can Control T and I can, you know, slightly rotate it around. Control Alt there. I'm going to shrink the hand so it looks like there's another hand in the background there. Maybe right about there. And it's very key that we do details. So I can go on each image and go on the same blend effect here and go to bevel. You can create a little bit of lighting action here. Okay, it's looking pretty nice. Sorry. And I also have the game stamp here. I can put there the RP score. And what else can we do? We can do a number of things. Let's see if I can go into some images real quick. I have some smoke PNG. We already made some fog. Let's see if we can do something with the smoke here. Maybe we can put a little bit of smoke right at the back here. And if you want to be realistic here, the smoke, if it's going to be behind him, you want some to be in front of him as well. So I'm going to Control J. I'm going to push it in front of him. And I'm going to pull back on the fill. Let's shift it around here. Maybe go right about. Maybe right about there. And I'm gonna go ahead and use the same mask, same selection. So we clip the smoke out. As you can see, the other smoke here, there's a little bit of bleed. Where is that coming from here? I'm seeing some bleed here, guys. Where is the bleed? Let's see. I'm seeing. Oh, it's a fog. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna mask the fog as well. Okay, we're looking pretty good. Pretty good. So we want to also set the mood for this. This is a pretty much done deal here. So what I can do is you know, I can put in maybe a Photoshop. I can put in a Photoshop a logo here. Let me bring it down real quick here. And this is a tutorial, guys, just to remind you here. I'm gonna put the Photoshop right about there. And we can give give our game a title here. We can call it let's call it a death mission. And I'm gonna go ahead and resize this here. I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna drag the layer on top of that black vignette that we have, so it can step out. Now the good thing is you want to make sure you're picking some nice fonts here. You want to pick something that really stands out, that really looks, you know, creepy or something here. Let's try let's see here. Let's go down. And you don't want to really take too long. Just go with something that works. I'm gonna go back up, maybe like this right here. I'll do. You can drag that. You know, I want to put it in a nice spot. Now the last thing that I'm gonna do here now, we want to color grade the title here. So we can always add more what you call lights here. I'm gonna add another layer. I'm gonna go to let's go to a linear light, and I can pick some more, like some green here. Maybe I could a little bit more green. I'm gonna increase the brightness here. Maybe something about there. Give it a nice kind of green. Let's take down the flow. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. I'm gonna back off a little bit on that. So what we're gonna do is gonna color grade here. So I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna go to let's go down to color balance, and I'm gonna go to the shadow here. So we want to make this, you know, it's like a horror game. So I'm gonna take it down to more of the cyan here. I'm gonna make everything a little bit green, and I'm gonna go to the midtones. I'm gonna boost the reds here. Want a little bit more red. Maybe right about there. Highlights also, we can put in some of the red or the blue. And we want to increase the vibrance. I'm going to add vibrance to this. So I'm going to go to pull the sliders to the right here. Add some more color. And there you have it, guys. We have a Death Mission PS5 game cover here by using simple layers here. So inbox me, guys. Let me know. You know, let me know what you want me to do on. I'm feeling if we add, let me go to picture here. If we add optic flare here, maybe something might you know. Let's see, maybe we can add optic flare right about here. Let me know if you like to see more tutorials. If you like to, you know, hire me as well. I charge reasonable prices, you know, so I can really make this thing stand out for you. So I'm gonna stop there, guys. I'm gonna thank you so much for supporting my page. Remember, you can hit me up at pristineproductions.website.com. You can email me as well, and catch you guys on the next one. PS5 Death Mission, which I've just released. I'm just playing with you, but yeah, you can see how nice and legit, and we make the images nice as well. And also, you guys, you can always practice what you call depth of field here. So I can take the background, go to filter, blur here. I'm gonna do a little bit of blurring here, maybe a little bit of shallow depth here, maybe about there. So we got the focus there more on the hand there and that stuff. So catch you on the next one, guys.